welcome to our Heroes Hearings. This edition I will talk with Bart Eerland, data engineer at Heroes and responsible for the implementation of the Microsoft Azure data platform at Stizon. Hey Bart, first of all, thank you for joining our hearings. Can you please start telling a little bit more about Stizon and what kind of company it is?
Yeah, sure. Well, good morning. First, thanks for having me. Stizon is a company that collects medical data from patients that they then use for scientific research, both internally and externally. They receive this data through various channels, like the general practitioners, hospitals, but also from pharmacies.
Wow, could you possibly describe which were the main triggers for Stizon to start this project?
The main trigger for this project was that they were looking for a way to replace their current legacy system. This legacy system was not transparent when it comes to data transformation. It was some sort of a black box. No one exactly knew what was happening inside and what kind of transformations were applied. On top of that, the current process is also very time consuming. It involved a lot of manual procedures like copying and extracting the data, archiving them, and keeping track of the whole process as well. So because of those manual procedures, it was very easy to make mistakes. So we had to come up with a new future-proof data platform in Azure, and we started off with the general practitioner data.
Whoa, I can imagine that they were looking for a new solution, especially when it's so time consuming and also easily can create errors. But data about a person's health falls under sensitive data and therefore under the Implementation Act General Data Protection Regulation. Can you describe how this is guaranteed within this project?
Yeah, of course. Yes, the patient data is very sensitive personal data, so information security has to be keen. Stizon, therefore, is a ISO 27001 and NEN 7510 certified. So this guarantees that they have all the right procedures in place when it comes to information security. The NEN standard adds even more to it because that standard is specifically designed for healthcare information security. Stizon has a data processing agreement with all the general practitioners that deliver data to Stizon. That agreement allows them to receive and process the data and handles all the legal aspects of when it comes to processing personal data. In the new platform, we validate that there is a valid agreement and if we are allowed to process the data. So if there is no valid agreement, we don't process the data and we delete it. Before the data is used for scientific research, the data is made anonymous.
Okay.
This means that all personal information that could identify a single person, that is removed and replaced by a random unique identifier. This is done because scientists do need a way to identify a single patient to make sure that they don't count patients more than once, for example. But this unique identifier never leads back to an actual person, so it's completely anonymous.
Okay, so first of all, they have to approve, and then data is completely anonymous. But it's also, of course, important that the data is protected in the right way. Could you elaborate a bit more on how this solution contributes to the overall security of information and data of Stizon?
Yeah, you're completely correct. The platform itself has multiple layers of security applied to guarantee the information security. For example, access to the Azure resources is always based on two-factor authentication.
Okay.
Also, our laptops that we use to develop the platform, that is equipped with two-factor authentication as well. Besides that, the data that resides in the platform, the data is encrypted at rest, but also in transit. So all communication is done completely secure. All the databases that resides in the platform, including the data warehouse, which hold all the sensitive patient data, they are connected to private virtual networks, which are completely cut off from the internet. And those networks are only accessible from inside the Stizon office or via a secured VPN connection, which is installed on our laptops. And yeah, last but not least, all access to the data that is marked as classified data and sensitive data, all the access to that data is audited as well. So we can always trace back who accessed what data at what point in time.
Wow, that sounds like a good secured platform. Now you have implemented an accurate and reliable Azure data platform for Stizon. Could you say that all wishes of Stizon are covered? In other words, when would the implementation be successful for Stizon, and did we meet this expectation?
Yeah, Stizon was looking for a future-proof, data-driven solution, which would enable them to process the data extraction from multiple sources in a faster, more accurate, more secure, and transparent way to support their business. By implementing a new and reliable data platform as we did, they are able to tick all the boxes of their project requirements. So yes,
wow,
it's successful.
Wow, that's good to hear. Good to hear that they are happy with the solution that we created for them. Were they also happy with the way we work together? Can you describe how Heroes approaches such an implementation and what our added value was?
Yeah, sure. In this particular situation, I think our added value was our ability to think outside the box. At the start of this project, the only goal was that we needed to replace the current legacy system. And the management board just had made the decision that they wanted to move from the private cloud to the public cloud to become more cost efficient. So everything from start to finish had to be figured out. From time to time, this resulted in changing requirements because of new insights that occurred. But also sometimes services in Azure changed because Azure was developing as well, of course. And that resulted in, that had some impact on the platform, sometimes positively because new services became available, but sometimes also negatively. And we had to work around those issues. And yes, Stizon is not a big company, so there are no big budgets for hiring a lot of people and do this in a very quick way. I worked together with 2 people from Stizon, and we built the platform together.
Okay, so you had to be really flexible and you had to anticipate on all kind of changes during the project. So can we assume that Agile was the way to go during this project?
Yeah, definitely. We definitely used the Agile approach. We held weekly stand-ups in where we discussed all the issues that we had and all the things that we were working on and were going to work on. So yes, Agile was definitely the way to go.
Okay, so you used the Agile way of working and some of their methodologies, but without implementing a complete Scrum or project organization. Just took the benefits out of this approach. If I hear
exactly, we took the best out of all the out of the Agile approach. We're a 3-man team, so we're also very pragmatic.
Perfect. Stizon is now using the platform for a while. How does the adoption go? What are the next steps, and in which way Heroes still plays a role after this go live?
The adoption goes really well. The go live was at the beginning of this year, but at that point we also kept the legacy system running in the background as a fallback scenario, just in case we ever needed to compare data from the new platform to the legacy system. But as of next month, the legacy system will be completely shut down and not used anymore. So that's a big milestone. The next step for Stizon is to connect more systems, like the hospital data and the pharmacy data, because it now only holds the general practitioner data, and it needs to be extended with more sources. And the plan is that they are going to do that themselves, but we are there to help them and to support them whenever they need us.
So this platform is growing, is gaining more and more data. Are they also starting to use new technologies like AI models, or to start analyzing their data in an improved way?
Yeah, they are. Stizon has their own data scientists, and they are already working on AI models that uses the new platform as the data platform. So yes.
So we can say that Heroes, and especially you, helped Stizon in the next step towards the future.
Yeah, they are now completely ready for the future.
Perfect. Good to hear. And thanks a lot, Ward. Really interesting to hear about this project at Stizon. And to you all, thank you very much for listening, and stay tuned for another Heroes Hearing. Thank you all. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.